Welcome back to Keystone at the Crossing. This is Sweet Lou Jeff Lazatter along with Steve Crawl for the 2026 IHSBCA Hall of Fame induction ceremony, the red carpet show. And our last inductee is Josh Lindblom from Lafayette Harrison High School in my stomping ground, Tippecanoe County. Josh, really appreciate your time. Congratulations. Just looking over your resume here, you've been around the world, obviously.
I have, yes. I have.
One thing that, because you've done that, I don't recall, you have to be injury-free in order to do this, right?
Yeah, I was never injured. I probably can't say this live, but I had a few fake injuries. I didn't want to get any teams in trouble. But yeah, never anything serious or that kept me out at all. No arm injuries. It was all lower body stuff.
Just talking about playing overseas, obviously language problem, you had to adapt to that. But I guess my question to you, when you went over there, did you always have the United States mountain plateau always there? You were always trying to reach that? Yeah. In other words, the playing overseas was just kind of like a stepping stool. Yeah. You always wanted to get back there?
Honestly, no. The best advice that I probably got going to Asia was from a friend of mine, and he said that the goal now is to play as long as you can over here. Because if you have 1 foot in Asia and 1 foot in the United States, you're not going to be good in either of them. And so in my mind, it was never really to make it back to the United States. It was, I'm going to play as long as I can here and be as good as I can. But the goal was to be, I knew if I wanted to come back, I had to be the best player. Like, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be a top 10. Like, I had to be the best player over there to have a chance. And so I was going to finish there, but the goal was to become the best player.
And comparing playing over there to the United States, what's some of the similarities versus, obviously I mentioned the language, but what other things did you have, obviously, to adapt to in order to play and play well over there?
The baseball is the baseball. Like, it's the same sport, whether you play it in Asia or the U.S. or Mars. Ball's round, bases are 90 feet, mound 60 feet, 6 inches. And so that was like the common ground was like, my teammates love the game, I love the game, we all wanted to win. And so the baseball was easy. It was the off the field stuff that was difficult. It was, having an open mind to the food and, like you said, the language and just being in a new place. And so a lot of guys, I still talk with a lot of guys now when they go over, is they want to compare like better or worse. Like, is playing in Asia better or worse than the United States? And I'm like, it's just different. It's like comparing an apple to an airplane. You can't do it. And so it was having an open mind, being open to the new things that I was exposed to, and then not allowing that to come between the white lines.
Looking at your college career, you played at the University of Tennessee and then came back and played in West Lafayette for the Purdue Boilermakers. Obviously, now college baseball is really on the front burner. I mean, it's really up. Talk a little bit about your experience at those two schools and how that prepared you to go on to professional.
Yeah, I tell people that I get that question, and so I was drafted out of high school, and if I would have signed out of high school, I don't know that I would have had the career that I did. College was such a formative time in my life where, like, I had to learn how to be an adult. I had to learn to wake up and be disciplined and go to class and do my schoolwork and go to study table and still be in practice. And college taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about how to be an adult and how to be responsible. And, at Purdue, I would say, was a huge part of that. Coach Schreiber was amazing with shaping and forming boys into men. It was really, really hard, looking back, some of the stuff that we did. But Schreib's, I would say, is probably more influential in my career than maybe I give him credit for sometimes.
You take a little bit of piece of all the people you met in baseball. I mean, you you grew up in Lafayette, West Lafayette. You played at Harrison. You had all that in the college experience. But you played for the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Rangers, the Athletics, the Pirates, the Brewers. You played for 2 different teams in Korea. That's a lot of teammates and managers and coaches. You take a little piece of, not of every single person, but a lot of them.
Yeah. There's, we're shaped over the course of our lives through like the people, places, and events that we encounter. And, I'm lucky to have had, these hats here. Each one of these, there's like, the reason I am the person that I am today is because of each one of these pieces. And, each one plays a role in like my development, not only like as a baseball player, but also just like a human being.
Whose name might you drop in your speech tonight? I know you could, a lot of people, but I don't know what your plan is.
Yeah. I don't want to give it away because
I'm not asking you to do that, but maybe hit the highlights.
No, but the only person I think I'm mentioning is Jake Burton, and it's just because I'm making a joke about him.
Okay. Ornery was the way he was described earlier by another.
Yes, but
panelist
so
here.
what I did. So when I started preparing for this process, I took out a sheet of paper and I just started listing the names of the people. And I say it tonight, but like after 20 minutes, I had a front and a back sheet of paper. And so like I know me personally is like, if I were to list out names and try to thank everybody, I'd get back to my room tonight and I would feel bad that I didn't mention somebody. And so these people, they know who they are. And that's really all that I say because I can't name everybody. Like we'd be here all night.
Can you talk about the things you do through your foundation and your other things that you've done off the field?
Yeah. That's been, a huge part of what my wife and I's commitment is. This game has taken us, like you guys said, all over the world. And so home for us wasn't necessarily like a location as much as it was a people that we were around. And so we always wanted everywhere we were to feel like home. And so part of that was like being involved in the community, giving back to the community, meeting needs in the community. And, the gift of throwing a baseball, like it was not for myself. It was for other people. It was for the benefit of other people. And it'd be very like limited to say that like I was put on this earth to throw a baseball. Like I wasn't. I just happened to be gifted at it. And so those gifts and those talents are for the benefit of other people.
And stepping back a little bit in time, I know he's not here due to the weather, but Lance.
Yes.
Back when you were and you faced him twice.
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to be really a major leaguer back then?
Yeah, I look back on our summer teams with the Indiana Bulls, Lance, Tommy, Hunter, myself. The thing about Lance is that Lance is probably like one of the best competitors that I've ever played with in my life. Just his like sheer will and ability to like look across the field at somebody and just say like, you're not going to beat me. And so always loved competing against Lance. He was one of those teammates, one of those people that like made you want to be better. And so like couldn't be more happy for like his success and his career because like he earned it. He went out and he put in the work and put in the time and energy and just really happy that he was as successful as he was.
Last question from me. Looking at this resume, when did you feel like it was time? Because obviously I mentioned, Josh, about you not being injured.
Yeah.
So you couldn't use that. But when...
I couldn't use that as an excuse.
Yeah. Right. But when did you... did you have a certain number of years you wanted to go? Or did you feel like, hey, I can still do this? When did you feel like that it was...
Yeah. I'd say when... I remember it would have been 2021, my kids started being in their own sports. And they had their own friends, they had their own school now, and like it wasn't fair to pull them away from that and to come and sacrifice and like be with me all season. And so like it got to a point where like physically, like I could have kept playing. There was no injury. I felt good. I was performing at a high level, but like I just wanted to be dad. There really wasn't anything else that I was chasing. Like there were no more accomplishments that I wanted. Like I had done everything that I wanted to do, and like I just wanted to be a husband and be a dad, and then coach my kids and hang out with them.
Well, congratulations, Josh. Lee Selvey came from my old stomping ground when I was
We were
younger.
talking about you out there.
And it's really nice to know where I'm living at now to get a Hall of Famer. So congratulations, Josh. We look forward to your speech.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is Sweet Lou, Jeff Luzader, Steve Krall. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Our next inductee tonight was a standout player at West Lafayette Harrison, graduated in 2005, played at the University of Tennessee, graduated from Purdue University, played there 2008. He had an outstanding, you can read it, Major League Baseball career from 2008 to 2021. I've never had the pleasure of meeting Josh, but one of the greatest things is what happened like tonight. I know he was an amazing player. I just remember from high school on, but I met some of the people that are here tonight, not just family, but people that you've crossed paths with in your life. And I'm proud to introduce our 223rd inductee, Mr. Josh Lindblom.
So as I sat down and began to brainstorm this a few weeks ago what I was going to say, I took out a sheet of paper and I began to write, seeing your faces, write down the names of people that had impacted me during my career. And after about 20 minutes, I had filled out an entire sheet of paper front and back. And the way that I am, I would forget someone and I would remember late at night and I'd kick myself. So I'm going to play it safe and not mention any names. But it would be foolish of me to stand up here and say that the reason I'm here is because of something that I did myself. Every step of this journey, I've had parents that have believed in me, a wife and kids who have sacrificed for me, family members that have encouraged me, and coaches who saw something in me that I did not see in myself. And those people are here tonight in this room. They're still supporting me, they're still caring for me, still sacrificing for me. And the people that are in this room, they know who they are. And so right now, if you're thinking in your mind right now and you're wondering if it's you, this is the surest sign that you're one of those people. And so to all of you, I just want to say thank you. The rest of the time, I always want to spend doing something a little different. I want to encourage all of the coaches sitting in this room by affirming the work that you all do matters more than you know, because it allows kids like me to achieve dreams they didn't know were possible. The evangelist Billy Graham said, "A coach will impact more people in 1 year than the average person will an entire lifetime." Everyone who's had the honor of standing up here throughout the course of history of the IHSBCA Hall of Fame has been deeply impacted by a coach somewhere along the way. Much of what you all do is farm work. It's invisible, it's underappreciated, and it comes without accolades. It's the hard work of planting seeds and watering soil and the hope that one day a harvest will come. The hope of a harvest is the thing that gets you all out of bed in the morning and on your feet. Some of you might mistakenly think that this harvest is in wins or plaques or trophies. Those things are the byproducts of the invisible work you do year in and year out. Some of you have coached long enough to realize that those things were never meant to fulfill the deepest desires and longings of your heart. Some of you haven't coached long enough to realize that chasing those things is a fool's errand. The impact of your coaching is never measured by the trophy case that greets people when they walk into your schools. It's measured by the men who go on to start families, lead their wives and kids the way that they saw you lead. If you're lucky enough, it's measured in longevity like coaches of Jake Burton, who've had the privilege of seeing advancements in technology like being able to use a stopwatch instead of a sundial, learning new ways of communicating like GroupMe and Game Changer rather than carrier pigeons. And I also think that Jake is going to coach some of his former players' great-grandchildren this year, so congrats, Jake. They said that I have the mic, and as long as I stand under time, I can say whatever I want, so old rivalries die hard. But in all seriousness, it's measured by the men who change communities by emulating the service they saw you model. It's in the dedication of young men who wake up early, stay up late to chase dreams through the discipline that you all have embodied. I realized very early on in my life and career that my talent and my gifts were not something that I earned, but something that was given to me and entrusted to me to be steward. Everything that I have is on loan, and one day that bill comes due and I have to give it back. My first summer after I finished playing, I found myself coaching my son and his friends on the same fields that I grew up playing on. And what I realized about those gifts and talents I was given is that they were never meant for myself. My life is not meant to be a drain, but a fountain. The lessons I learned and the experience I had are not meant to stop with me and be wasted, but to flow out and affect and impact others. And the reality is that I am not on those fields coaching if it wasn't for people like you. I'm not who I am today if it wasn't for the tireless effort of the people that supported me over the course of the 30-some-odd years that I was blessed to play this game. So thank you for this honor, and God bless you guys.